Alright folks, you've heard of the Dragon at Deals Gap, and you've already heard about the Pacific Coast Highway. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 motorcycle roads in America that are hidden gems. Roads you may not have heard of, but you would not want to miss for the 2023 riding season. So stay tuned because we've got the best motorcycle roads in America right here. Alright folks, before we get into our top 10 hidden gems in America list, I know we've got a lot of experienced riders on this channel, so there's a good chance many of you have heard of these great motorcycle roads, but these are roads that usually don't make it onto a top 10 list for America. If you have ridden any of these roads, be sure to leave a comment on what you thought about them and if you have any helpful tips on how to go about planning them. And each of these rides takes into consideration the various components of what makes a motorcycle road truly great. Astounding scenery, road pavement quality, and of course those challenging twisting curves. And if you make it to the end of the video, we'll show you the best part about this particular list as a bonus. And for all the work we put into the video here, all we ask of you in return is to hit that like button. It'll help our channel, and don't forget to subscribe either. We've got more videos on the best motorcycle roads in America, so be sure to check those out. And all these roads can be found on our website, greatmotorcycleroads.com. There we have route descriptions, pictures of what the roads actually look like, and links to the direct Google Maps routes, all of which you can get on the go right on your device. First up is Vermont Scenic Route 100. This whole thing is about 200 miles in length. One of the best motorcycle roads in Vermont is the Scenic Route 100 Byway, which virtually covers the entire state. If you're looking for a peaceful ride with beautiful views, this is the road for you. There's gorgeous rolling farmland, flowering fields in the late spring and early summer, and fantastic road pavement quality. There's plenty of quaint towns you'll ride through which offer cafes, shops, and great food. This road passes alongside the edge of the Green Mountains on the western side of the road, so you'll have grand views of those mountains as you ride as well. I'll tell you folks, I've ridden just about every road in New England, and Vermont 100 is just about my absolute favorite. Just when you think you're seeing the best scenery, you'll turn a curve and see even more magnificent views. And there's also a very cool waterfall to check out just off the road. If you're looking for more adventurous riding in this area, be sure to check out the Mad River Loop just off Route 100. This loop can be found on our website and includes the epic Route 17 through the mountains with some dramatic elevation changes. And a huge plus for our Canadian friends taking this route, when you ride to the southern end of Vermont 100, that drops you down into the Berkshire Hills of western Massachusetts, which is some of the best riding in southeast New England. But Vermont Scenic Route 100 has it all. There's great curves, scenic views, all on beautifully maintained pavement quality. See all that Vermont has to offer on one fantastic motorcycle road. Next up, we head to Wyoming for the Chief Joseph Highway, featuring Wyoming Route 296. The route we've included here is about 63 miles in length. This road can be started in Cody, and if you head northwest, it will meet up with the Beartooth Highway. This lesser-known motorcycle ride is smooth and has long sweeping turns that climb up and down some of the most beautiful mountain passes Wyoming has to offer. The 47-mile portion of 296 that is known as the Chief Joseph Highway is an especially scenic byway through the Rocky Mountains. The byway passes along national forest lands for almost its entire length. While the Chief Joseph Road is not one of those high elevation rides, it does cross Dead Indian Pass, which has an elevation of over 8,000 feet. As you ride, you'll have panoramic views around sharp mountain bends. And one of the best scenic highlights is the bridge crossing high above the Clarks Fork Yellowstone River. And there's a great pull-off to take in the scenery of the river down in the deep canyon. And this is one of those motorcycle routes where if you ride it in the opposite direction, you'll feel like it's two completely different roads. As quick as the scenery changes, the weather is just as temperamental along this ride. The most ideal times for motorcyclists to traverse this route are during the summer and fall. And as we mentioned, this road connects with the absolutely fantastic Beartooth Highway. If you make a long ride and connect these two routes, you will be riding in some of the best roads America has to offer. The Chief Joseph Byway is a great option for those who want to try one of the most underrated motorcycle roads in America. Next up is the Talimena Byway, featuring Oklahoma State Highway 1 and Arkansas 88. This is about 54 miles in length. The Talimena Scenic Drive offers some of the most breathtaking vistas these states have to offer. The road travels within the Ouachita National Forest, along the highest peaks of the Winding Stair Mountains and Rich Mountain at over 2,600 feet in elevation. It's ideal for motorcycle riders looking for solitude and great riding. The route offers mountain vistas of forested peaks and valleys, as well as lakes and streams. The motorcycle ride is especially picturesque when the surrounding mountains are clad in spring and autumn foliage. In fact, you may find the scenery is very similar to the famous Blue Ridge Parkway. And for much of this road, you'll be riding on the ridge of the mountains as opposed to on the side of them. So you'll have scenic overlooks on either side of the road. And as far as the twisties go, these 50 miles are filled with sharp curves and elevation grades. The road is just technical enough to be fun, but not so much that it's too difficult for less experienced riders. The speed limit is on the slower side here, but that of course allows you to enjoy the scenery. October is probably the most beautiful time to ride here, but the catch is it will also be the most popular time for traffic. And just keep in mind you may not have much cell service up there. Make sure you fuel up before getting onto the road and bring plenty of water, as there's not much by way of services on this route. And for those who are not familiar with the Ozarks, this area is full of great motorcycle roads, including the Ride Up Mount Magazine, the Pig Trail Scenic Byway, Arkansas 123, and many others. You can spend a lot of time exploring roads in this area, but the Talimena Drive makes for a perfect day ride to get out into the countryside. Up next is another epic ride that does not make many top 10 lists. This is the Lolo Pass, featuring US Route 12. This is within Idaho and Montana. It's about 205 miles in length. The Lolo Pass is a mountain pass along Highway 12 and is the highest point of the historic Lolo Trail. Perhaps you've seen this famous picture cautioning about being a winding road the next 99 miles? Well, that's this road. The Lolo Pass covers some of the most beautiful sections of the Lewis and Clark Trail, as it takes you through the Rocky Mountains of Idaho and Montana. Riding up to Lolo Pass is a unique, awe-inspiring experience. It winds through excellent scenery with well-marked curves. The pavement quality is also very good. Although this is not one of the more well-known motorcycle roads in the country, many riders who do know this road say this one may surpass all others for its continuous curves, beauty, and overall riding quality. Even the most experienced riders will appreciate the stunning views on this great road. And when you take into account the historical importance of the Lewis and Clark Trail, the Lolo Pass ride feels like you're embarking on a quest in the true spirit of the early explorers. Just be sure to top off your fuel before starting the ride, as it's a long distance between gas stations. And check out the Lolo Pass Visitor Center to stretch your legs and learn more about the legendary expedition that crossed here in the early 1800s. If you're looking for a great motorcycle road with never-ending twisties, straightaways, and scenery, don't miss the excellent Lolo Pass motorcycle ride. Alright folks, next we head into Tennessee for the extremely technical Devil's Triangle. This challenging ride is located in the mountains of the Cumberland Plateau. The Devil's Triangle is made up of some of the most unusual two-lane twisty roads in Tennessee. The adventure ranges from peaceful farmsteads in the countryside of Tennessee to tight twisting curves next to rusty steel guardrails of death. Yes, this road is a challenge to say the least. The ride will take you over two mountains with tight uphill and downhill curves, while the Valley Floor Road offers more open roadway and follows mountain streams with numerous places to pull off and enjoy the scenery. Route 116 is particularly enjoyable as there are some sweeping turns and some tight 180s that keep your focus on high alert. In fact, we'd argue the twisting curves are just as good as the Dragon at Deals Gap, but there are even more challenges here because many of the curves are next to ragged, steep drop-offs and rock cliffs, all of which leaves no room for error. One section of road descends 1,600 feet at the New River in just a mile and a half, but compared to the Dragon, the traffic here is usually pretty light. However, because you are in the mountains and this is coal country, watch out for coal trucks, especially around the turns. The road quality here is fairly good, but riders may find some spots of gravel and the route has some patchwork in a few areas. So keep that in mind and just remember this is no place for a beginner rider. But if you're looking for a challenging road to test your skills, check out the Devil's Triangle in Tennessee. Even if you're well experienced, ride this one carefully and you'll live to ride another day. Okay, next is a road to one of the most unique national parks that not a whole lot of people around the country know about. This is Route 138 to Crater Lake National Park. It's about 228 miles in length. Route 138 runs along the Umpqua River with some scenic riding besides the Diamond Lake. The route takes you through towering forests and past sheer cliffs. Follow 138 south until it leads you to the awesome Crater Lake National Park, where the scenery really gets spectacular. The winding 33-mile loop around the lake offers constant views of this incredible natural wonder. Crater Lake is one of the most unique geographical locations on Earth. The lake's basin formed when the top part of the mountain collapsed after a massive volcano eruption. Over time, the lake filled with water from melting snow, resulting in one of the clearest, cleanest, and deepest bodies of water in the world. And the scale of this lake is difficult to wrap your head around. It's just another place where pictures really don't do it justice. And if you're feeling adventurous and looking to cool off, you can actually hike down in one section for an opportunity to take a refreshing swim in the clearest lake in America. I did this on my birthday back in 2016, and it was one of the coolest moments of my life. Be aware, however, that even in June there may be significant amounts of snow. So be sure to check out the park's website for all the updates on the road before planning a ride. There's plenty of scenic stops all around the rim, and you'll want to take advantage of these, so be sure to bring your camera. While you can start this route in Roseburg and Interstate 5, you can continue on more epic riding to the Oregon coast and the amazing Highway 101. These routes are some of the best riding on the West Coast. Next is the ride up Mt Lemmon Highway in Arizona. This is about 26 miles in length. Although this is one of our shorter rides on our list, the Mt Lemmon Highway is a great ride with awesome views. It's located about 20 miles from Tucson. It's the only paved road that leads you to the top of Mt Lemmon and is noted as being one of the most scenic roads in all of the Southwest. Pick up the Mt Lemmon Highway and climb an elevation from 2,500 feet to 8,000 feet in just a few miles. Riding up this elevation lets you take in the change in foliage and temperature. You'll ride with amazing views of the valley floor as well as the breathtaking rock formations along the Santa Catalina mountain range. And it's a great road for so many reasons. The road itself is well maintained with great curves, straightaways, and twisties. In many places it feels like just you and the road. You get to ride with wide open views of canyons, valleys, lush forest, and breathtaking vistas all the way. Summer Haven is a nice little village at the top. Also, there are many trailheads up there for you to be able to stretch your legs and go for a hike. The only thing about this route is it's very popular for bicycle riders, so be mindful of that if you have to ride this on a weekend. And the temperature range from the top of the summit to the base is typically a 20-degree difference. So keep that in mind, but if you're looking for a challenging road with the payoff of tremendous scenery, be sure to check out one of the most scenic motorcycle roads in all of Arizona. Next, we head back up to New England for our ride from MADRID, Maine to COLEBROOK, New Hampshire, featuring routes 4, 17, and 26. This is about 120 miles in length. Some of the best motorcycle roads in Maine are along this route, where you'll ride through numerous state parks, lakes, and along mountain views. This ride can be started on Route 4 in MADRID and ride through Rangley State Park, and connect to 17 South, which offers majestic overlooks of nearby mountains and lakes down to Rumford. As you head northwest along Route 26, it offers great open scenery and carves through Grafton Notch State Park, all the way into the New Hampshire border. Once you cross into New Hampshire on your way to COLEBROOK, you'll pass along more awesome state parks, including Dixville Notch. The road here is cut right next to the high mountains, through deep forest, and there's some fun curves to navigate. There's also a particularly exciting roller coaster-like hill that will really get your adrenaline going. The town of COLEBROOK is close to Canada and sits right on the Vermont state line. Now, I know many riders say that Kankamagus Highway is the best motorcycle road in New England. I've done both of these routes numerous times over the years, and in my opinion, this route from MADRID to COLEBROOK is better. It's lesser known, the scenery is more dramatic, and you've got the great combination of curves, elevation changes, as well as some nice open stretches to cruise on. This is some of the best kept secret riding in New England. And it's a great route for those heading to the 100th anniversary of Laconia Bike Week in June 2023. This fantastic motorcycle route is definitely worth the ride and one that you would not want to miss. Next, we head to the West Coast for California Route 33. This is about 70 miles in length. You can start Route 33 north from Ventura, hop on the Maricopa Highway, and cruise through Ojai, which is a great little town, and head towards the mountains. This ride is a looping, challenging delight. winding through the chaparral and pines of the Santa Ynez Mountains and Los Padres National Forest. There's a few extremely fun short tunnels to ride through as well. This is beautiful wild country in California with amazing twisty roads, especially as you climb elevation. And there's tremendously inspiring views most of the way on this ride. The road condition on Route 33 is very well maintained, making for smooth motorcycle riding. And see if you notice the aroma of wildflowers along the way. There are many sweepers here that will take you over Pine Mountain Saddle at about 6,000 feet and will drop you down into the Cuyama Badlands. If you have time for a longer detour, check out Lockwood Valley Road, which heads east all the way to I-5. The northern part of 33 is largely downhill with blind turns, so watch out for roadside debris, as you may be distracted by the astounding lush scenery. There really are so many great motorcycle roads in California, but Route 33 seems to fly under the radar for great rides. But in our opinion, it definitely won't disappoint. If you're in the Southern California area, be sure to check out California Route 33. Next we head to Virginia for the Back of the Dragon, featuring Virginia Route 16. The route we've included here is 50 miles in length. This is one of the most technical rides in the state. While many riders flock to the Dragon at Deals Gap in Tennessee, the height of motorcycling enjoyment can also be had on this less popular road as you take on Virginia's Appalachian Mountains. In fact, this route crosses 3 mountains in its course from Marion to Tazewell, Virginia. The Back of the Dragon offers knee-dragging curves, switchbacks, and elevation changes. The portion of road that is designated as the Back of the Dragon features 438 curves in just 32 miles, and some of these are 15-mile-per-hour hairpin curves. Along the ride, you will wind through state parks, national forests, as well as rolling farmland of Rich Valley. But once you get to the top, the views are amazing at 3,500 feet. Peak season for the Back of the Dragon is Memorial Day to Labor Day. If you're planning to ride here in the summer, expect to enjoy the cool mountain breezes of the higher elevations. The route will take you through shady forested areas where the tunnels of trees offer some nice shade. Now granted, for a Hidden Gems video, this one is probably the most popular route on our list for motorcyclists. But that being said, the traffic is typically a non-factor due to its remote location. But for a first-rate 5-star motorcycle ride through the Virginia mountains, be sure to check out the Back of the Dragon. Alright, for those of you who made it to the end of the video, congratulations by the way. The best part about this list is that you can string them all together to ride from one end of the coast to the other, which would make for an epic American motorcycle road trip through the United States. So that's our list for the top 10 motorcycle roads in America, the Hidden Gems edition. If you didn't see a route that you think should be included, go ahead and let us know in the comments section below. And again, if you have any helpful tips, be sure to leave a comment on how to ride these great American motorcycle roads. If you found this video helpful at all, hit that like button for us, it'll help the channel, and don't forget to subscribe either. And don't forget, all these roads can be found on our website, greatmotorcycleroads.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.